Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. Just finished West Ham United 4 1, 2, 3, 4 nil against Bournemouth. We're here to talk about the highlights. There's a few of them. What went right, what went wrong, not much, but we'll talk about it if anything. And some individual player performances. As always, thank you for joining us. If you're happy, drop a like on the video. Cheeky, I know, but I'm taking advantage of this feel-good situation. Gonzo, we didn't have to wait long though, did we? But before we scored our first goal, so the first 15 minutes, what were you thinking?
The first 5, I thought was a little bit nervous, I think. And then I thought we started to see energy and determination. And we started to attack after the first 5. We started to use that energy and that determination in their half of the pitch. We started to close down. We just tried to win the ball, and we lost the ball. We tried to win it back really quickly. If I was to probably highlight anything that seemed to happen today, all game today, it was that. Now, obviously, at that point, we don't know whether that's going to manifest itself in goals or even shots on goals, because we've seen that Moyes does that before. But I think probably the first thing, I was surprised at the formation, the way we deployed. I think I spent the first 5 minutes just looking to check who was in what positions, if you know what I mean, because it was a bit of a learning exercise, and particularly for him to switch from his favourite 3 at the back to 4.
And a minute after that first 15 minutes, we made it 1-0. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. You need a little bit of luck, especially in relegation 6-pointers, and you can go through every big game this season, not just West Ham, other games as well. The Villa game away to Burnley today, I bet you there was a bit of luck there somewhere. We got it. Snodgrass does very well though. He gets past his man, gets to the byline, takes his time, waits, plays it back to Martin Noble and then the box, and it takes the world's wickedest deflection and goes in, bumbles into the far corner. But 1-0 West Ham, just what we need, Gonzo.
Yeah, and we were to get luck throughout the game, to be perfectly honest with you, but that was a key bit of the luck, because that was a crucial point in time. It was crucial for Moyes, it was crucial for the stadium, and it was also crucial for David Sullivan, as the game would go on to prove. I would hope he's giving David Moyes a belated Christmas hamper now, because that has really that's done absolute wonders for everybody at the club, really. But it was, I thought it was a lovely little exchange actually between Anderson and Snodgrass. Of course, Snodgrass did ever so well. Good for Noble to get the goal, and of course Noble played well today, but hard to praise him for an excellent finish. But it was going on target, but at the other part of the goal where the goalkeeper was, and then got deflected into the other side of the goal. So yeah, we were pleased to be 1-0 up at that point. Now,
well, you can take the finish away from Martin Noble. The wicket would have gone in without a deflection, but he does the run, he makes himself available, and he pulls the trigger first time, which is important. I think if this was the last game, I think he would have took a touch probably before he hit the trigger, but he doesn't. He took it first time, and this is why you should shoot all the time. It's just Sunday league stuff in a way, isn't it? I remember getting told, I used to play on a Saturday, but when I used to get told, believe it or not, it was my mother who used to kept telling me, just shoot, because she said, what's the worst that can happen? It goes out for a corner, it goes anywhere. And that's the prime example of it. It goes in. 10 minutes later, though, as if you weren't already happy, there was a bit of a wow factor and a bit of here we go factor. Ball goes out to Ryan Fredericks, gets his cross in, and fantastic finish by Sebastian Haller. A little bicycle kick for you. Sure,
he likes those, doesn't he? Yeah, a good goal. My sort of goal, to be honest with you. Pace, width. I like the way Snodgrass killed a bit of time, allowed Fredericks to go on his run, and a good cross from Fredericks as well. Who's I criticise quite heavily for his technique. May I say, up to that point, he'd made 3 excellent tackles up to that point. There appears to be nothing wrong with his tackling technique, but he got his crossing right at that point. It was a really good cross, done at pace. I thought he was so fast, I thought he'd be at the byline before he had time to cross it, but no, he dug it out, and it was a wonderful finish from the striker we all hoped we were getting, really. And amazing what a bit of confidence can do to everybody, and I do mean everybody on that team.
Good on Fredericks for getting forward into that position, and a bit like Noble Shaw, he had to take it first time. There wasn't enough pitch to take a touch. He was out for a goal kick. He does well. It's not This is not the best cross in the world. It doesn't put on a plate for him. Allier's still got a lot to do. But it's a good cross. It puts it in the zone that says, there you go, striker. Now it's your job. Frederick's done his job. I criticise him a lot as well for not being good enough at the right back. But he's done his job there. And Sebastian Haller, what a finish. And he had a face of a bit of attitude about him when he scored that. You know, he almost looked angry, which is good. You want that frustration in him, as if to say, look, this is what I can do. I just don't get the ball enough. You give it to me and I'll do it. 8 minutes later, as if you weren't already in cloud 9, we're going again. Mark Noble turns into Messi, dribbles past a couple of people. I say dribbles past him, he literally ran round him. I've not seen Mark Noble do that for a while. So round he went, gets into the box, and right, let's be honest here, he's got one thing on his mind. I'm getting a penalty. There's nothing else here. There's a striker in front of him. He can't cross it. He knows Harry Wilson's right behind him. So Martin Noble knows, if I just slow down a little bit, you're going to make enough contact that I'm going to go down, and then we'll take it to VAR and see what they say. I either get a pen or it's a goal kick, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I've got nothing to lose here. Was it a pen for you, or do you think it's a bit harsh?
No, it was a bit harsh. It was weak, actually, to be honest with you. But again, it sounds like I'm doing down on Mark Noble. He was on one today, by the way. There was a few times that he took the ball on, decided to run with it, and burst into space. He's good at doing this, Noble. New managers come in, and obviously he's worked with Moyes before, but he's very good at putting it. I actually think, Gio, funny enough, this is why we've probably not replaced Mark Noble in a long time. I think it comes to the end of everybody's, like, a manager's reign, and they look as if Mark Noble starts to maybe dip in form, or maybe the team dips in form, and it looks like Mark Noble's probably going to be on his way out. We always think, hold on, we need a new midfielder in there, and I think it's right to think that way. But then when a new manager comes in, Mark Noble lifts his performance and proves to everybody why he should be in there, and then we end up not buying a midfielder. And I thought he was brilliant today, absolutely magnificent. And yeah, whilst I do think the penalty was a little bit weak, you can't blame him for having a go for it, to be fair. And you know, Wilson was a little bit silly to buy into the ruse, you know.
I would have been fuming, and that was against West Ham. So I'd have been sitting here going, no way is that a pen. Soft, game's gone, and all the rest of it. But you know, like the first goal, you needed a little bit of luck. And Martin Noble's a very experienced player, knows exactly what he's doing, and Wilson is just a bit too naive, a bit too green, and a bit too stupid, to be honest with you, just to keep running into the back of him. 3-0, fantastic pen from Mr. Mark Noble. Half time comes with 3-0. The Tartan Guardiola is in full effect, Gonzo. You must have been pretty happy.
Sorry, which bit are we talking about now? Which goal? I've lost count.
Half time.
Oh, half time. Sorry, not another goal, just half time. Oh, it was lovely. I managed to make me a cup of tea. I didn't have to worry about anything. It was, yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable what we witnessed today, Gio. I've got to say, there was so much energy on that pitch. So much. I don't want to go too much negativity and worry about what we were doing before, but it did make, you know, you wouldn't really be a West Ham fan if you didn't cast your mind back and think, what were we doing before? Where was this energy? It didn't look like the formation was massively different. Fornals was, you know, I mean, he was playing 4 at the back, which we didn't expect. He sort of had Noble and Rice sitting. Yes, people seem to be given licences to do something a little bit different, but Fornals was in roughly the same position. Anderson was, you know, sort of in the middle, playing number 10-ish, as he has in the last couple of games. You know, it's not like we saw Snodgrass at left back or something. He was playing on that right-hand side, and Haller was in the middle. So much of this was about closing down. So much of it was about effort, about winning the ball back, and just about running hard. Yeah, as I say, it's not like we saw a 4-2-2, whatever, anything like that. It was crazy, really. And I was confident for the second half because we looked that good, and Bournemouth looked that bad. Let's say that. Crikey, they were rubbish.
The formation was the same, but the way you played the formation was completely different. There was no slow build-up. Moyes said in his press conference about long passes. we very much saw that in the first half, but they were working really well. Everyone knew what was happening. Whenever we got it, you saw Anderson and Ali were both running. They were ready for that long pass. And they were long passes. This was I wouldn't call it hoofball. It wasn't booting it aimlessly up the pitch. There was clearly a thought out process of where to land the ball, if you like, and the strikers knew where it was going to land. And Mempham couldn't handle Sebastian Aller in the air. He was just backing into him. He was holding on to him at all times. He had his number from the word go, I thought, Aller. I don't think we utilised it enough, actually. I would have liked to have seen a bit more long passes to Aller. I thought it was very efficient. I think that's the way I would call it, because I had a look at the stats at half time from a betting perspective for the second half. I was looking at the 3 games that was going on, and I noticed that Bournemouth had twice as many passes as we did in the first half. One, it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like we were being
it didn't. No.
So it didn't feel like that. But 2, it just shows that actually you've done all those passes but yet to have a shot, and we've done half and we're 3-0 up. It says a lot more about you than it does about us. And I thought, this is good. This is efficiency. This is utilising the ball correctly, and the players on the pitch were clearly carrying out the game plan perfectly. I thought the game plan changed slightly in the second half, but let's talk about that. 66 minutes. It was 4. That was game over. I mean, it was already game over at 3-0, but you just needed that 4th goal just to really kill it, and that's what done it. Felipe Anderson, a much deserved goal, but what a pass from Declan Rice. All those your fellow countrymen that don't support West Ham, you can't pass forward. Well, go take a look at that, okay? Because Declan Rice is not a man of the match player, but he's finally going to be a man of the match tonight, because what a pass that was. Bang! That first touch by Felipe Anderson, though, is a little bit of magic. It just takes the defender out. So you touch me, you're off, because I'm through on goal now. You're going to get a red card. In he goes. Ramsdale, for whatever reason, stayed in his 6-yard box despite Felipe Anderson having a 21. Just slips under. 4-0. Felipe Anderson, and a deserved goal for him too.
Yeah, well, you've just described the goal perfectly. I did love the pass, and I've written down on my paper here, first touch from Felipe Anderson was class. It's good that the keeper did do that, because in Felipe Anderson, we got a player that I've always liked, but one that is struggling with confidence, I think, and had the keeper rushed out at him, I'm not quite sure he's confident enough to dink it over him. So he gave him an extra bit of time, and it was exactly what he needed. And because he worked so hard today, Anderson, from the very first moment, he'd bought into this system of closing down, of going fast, and all the rest of it. And because obviously of the Antonio situation, again, we didn't have much pace in the team. But we utilised what we had in Fredericks and in Anderson, and Anderson was a massive part of having that pace. And because obviously his number was up, literally his number was up, he was about to come off the pitch. For him to get the goal then was wonderful. And I also really liked the way Moyes gave him a cuddle. Straight afterwards, it was very much a cuddle of a man, saying, because he was knackered, he could barely celebrate. That's why he was coming off, because he was exhausted. He tried to celebrate, he collapsed straight away, and then when everyone's trying to jump on him, you can see he's trying to catch his breath, and he almost don't want everyone to jump on him and all the rest of it. Moyes takes him off, gives him a squeeze as much to say, look, I've taken you off there, but well done, I'm chuffed here. And everyone on the bench, was all high-fiving him. It seemed to be a happy place to be. And I just thought it was absolutely wonderful. I'm really, really pleased. Like that goal again, because it was a long ball goal, but it was lots of technique involved in it.
Long pass goal, thank you.
Of course,
long
pass. Yeah. Big hoof.
Accurate hoof as well. Lanzini obviously came on for Anderson, as Gonzo just told you, and nearly scored a header, which was, if you thought 4-0 wasn't strange, almost got stranger. But just prior to the header, there was another VAR incident on the side of West Ham. Alan Cresswell went in, red card, VAR then demoted it to a yellow card, and he got to stay on the pitch. What's your thoughts on that one?
Dangerous, reckless, did not need to. He already had the ball won. It was almost a second movement that did it. I think it's quite hard when you've been asked and instructed to play with such ferocity to then not. I think he was caught up in the moment, Cresswell. But at the first time, I thought it was a silly thing to do. People will be looking at it saying, "Oh, he got the ball. He did get the ball, but he didn't need to do that. The second motion. I thought he could have won the ball without doing what he did. Fortunately, it was only a yellow card, but it was reckless. He certainly wasn't in control, and it was a dangerous thing to do. I wouldn't have been complaining if he'd have got a red card. I certainly wouldn't. You can't just say I've got the ball and endanger someone at the same time. It's not enough, and those aren't the rules, by the way.
I thought it was very unnecessary. We were 4-0 up, but it was just the game wasn't like that. The game was quite a mellow enough game. We'd killed it by this point. Just when he'd done it, I thought, what are you doing? Why have you done this? He just had a minute of just overexcitement almost, and it's just so unnecessary. I think Moyes is the type of manager though that's going to take him to one side and say, if that was 0-0 and you're just going to got sent off, what are you doing? You would have cost us the game, you stupid boy. Okay, you're lucky it was 4-0 because we would have probably still won. They might have got a goal, but the game was finished. But it might actually just cost him his place. Maybe not for the Gillingham game, but if Masuaku plays against Gillingham and does really well, Moyes might have a look at that incident and think, you know what, I'm going to keep Masuaku for Sheffield United because Cresswell lost his head when it was 4-0. There's going to be a lot more pressure points between now and May. There's going to be a lot more high pressure moments on that football pitch than it was. I just thought it was really unnecessary. Lucky, I think it is a yellow card because I like a crunchy tackle, but I just thought there was no need for it really. They almost injured Fraser as well when they used up all their subs, and I wouldn't have liked to see them play the remaining game with just 10 men because I thought, well, that would have been not cheating, but it would have just felt a bit unsavoury. It would have been a bit of a cloud on a fantastic victory a little bit.
I think you could do that from the front, his movement, when the player is facing you. I think you can do that. I think when the player is either side on or has got his back to you and you can't really see you coming, which is what I thought happened then, he couldn't see him coming, I then think it becomes dangerous because the player has no opportunity to get out of the way despite the ball. But you're right, it didn't match. I just thought, whoa, you're out of control there a little bit, mate. Calm down.
Masuaku came on for Robert Snodgrass and played centre midfield for the remaining 10 minutes of the game, which was interesting. Full time, 4-0. We're happy hammers, first time in a while.
Yeah.
Where's it gone right? Where's it gone right tonight? What are you looking at that game thinking, I'm pleased to see this, and I'm pleased to see that, and that is why we've won?
Well, I've written down urgency and endeavour on numerous occasions on my bit of paper, so I would probably say that was that has to be the key, because clearly I've kept writing it down. I keep on thinking it. If you want to know, if you haven't watched that game and you want to know why West Ham won today, watch the game. If you can, go back and watch it from the 47th minute, obviously in the second half, from 47 minutes to 48 minutes. Just watch that. You will not see a goal, but what you will see in that 1 minute is what we did today. We forced them into mistake after mistake. We didn't give them any time. Every time we lost the ball, we seemed to be offended by it and went and got it back. And after we'd forced them into mistakes, we pounced on them quickly. We didn't just... In fact, the one I was going to say, we didn't just sit back and then do a patient build-up. We went for the jugular. And there was one particular time where we did do that, and Haller didn't quite get the ball over in time. And actually, we did recycle it, and it ended up back with our centre-backs. And the crowd started moaning because they had got used to us just going for it. We were winning that ball back, and we were going for them. Absolutely going for them. We didn't give Bournemouth a moment's rest. And actually, I looked at, and at one point I thought this may well have been, considering Bournemouth's slump of recent times, the game they wanted. Well, the game they wanted and needed was actually the West Ham at the London Stadium under Manuel Pellegrini. What they actually got was exactly the game they didn't need. We didn't give them any time. We didn't give them any space the way we closed down, the way we tried to win the ball back instantly after losing it, would have troubled a lot of teams today. And we'd actually have players of real quality in there. I mean, you can name them. We'll go through the players individually, when you're ready in a bit. But we've got some real quality players now in the team, where we're not just sort of lumping it, hopefully, up. If we get the ball in the box or in and around the box, we can now cause real damage. It's amazing how quick that changed. It is only Bournemouth, by the way. They were terrible.
Yeah, I was going to leave that downer till the end, actually.
Yeah, that's awful. So I don't think we're beating everybody 4-0, but I do look at the run of fixtures upcoming now, and at least I'm not looking at it thinking actually we're going to lose every one, and it really helps. That really gives Moyes a really good platform to to make a silent classroom, if you know what I mean. If he's the teacher and everybody else in the classroom, he's now gained the respect. Now everybody in training is going to be listening to what he's saying, and he'll carry some authority. The old players might know it. We all heard Mark Noble's letter, but the new players like Felipe Anderson, like Sebastian Haller, Balbuena are now going to be looking at Moyes thinking, okay, well maybe you know what you're talking about. We're going to listen. Okay, so what are the tactics, Gov? What are we doing in the next one? And I think as I say, I think what he's done for the football club in one game, he should be receiving a belated Christmas card from David Sullivan, because it may well have bigger implications than just the 3 points that we earned today.
I thought Moyes, Tartan Guardiola, that's what I'm calling him tonight. The Tartan Guardiola got his tactics spot on. We've got one or two players with a couple of weaknesses in that squad, and it's just a thing, like Fornals' pace. We removed that. We didn't rely on Pablo Fornals having pace. We thought, you know what, let's give him the ball when he's already in the final third. Let's not give him it in the middle third and say run with it, because we know he can't. He's just not quick enough. So let's let him get into the final third, and we'll give it to him there, where he doesn't need to rely on pace. Felipe Anderson was moved into the number 10, and I thought that made the world of difference for everyone. We were ruthless tonight a little bit. We got one, went for two, and when we got two, went for three, and then we came out in the second half and thought, right, we'll sit back a little bit, we'll be a bit safer, but we're going to be going for four. Then I thought we still went for 5 and 6. To be honest, I don't think 5-0 would have been an injustice to the result. We very much performed the stats. If you look at the stats tonight in terms of possession, I think it was 60% for Bournemouth. It didn't feel like that. It did not feel like that at all. And that comes down to a game plan. That comes down to efficiency. That comes down to allowing the opposition to have it rather than them keeping it away from you. It's two completely different things. You can only praise the players tonight. You know, I felt like they were enjoying it at the end as well. It's probably the first time they've enjoyed playing football for a while, because our last couple of wins have been 1-0s. So you can't enjoy them with the ball in possession. You know, the fans were all laying in that tonight. It's been, you know, before we went live, I said to Gonzo, well, we haven't done a review together for a while that we've won, because the last two wins I was there, and we were trying to think what was it. It was Norwich and Man United. It was one of those two, whichever one was latter, and that's in September. That's how long it's been till we were able to discuss a win together. Bournemouth were the perfect opponents, but that's only half the battle. You've still got to put them to task. You've still got to cut them up, and that's what we've done tonight. Individual performers, there's quite a lot of them, I think, but who take your pick?
Yeah, lots and lots. Let's start with Fredericks, because I've dug him out a lot. I thought his tackling technique was superb. I thought there was some 3 or 4 excellent tackles, by the way. Tackles that he won, and then as soon as he won them, he was gone at pace. You know, he didn't just win the ball and then, you know, look pleased with himself. He was gone. I think Moyes will be really pleased with what he saw from Fredericks today. I thought Ogbonna just looked like the governor. Ogbonna just looked like the boss today. He really did. There was no sniff. There was no Callum Wilson. No, sorry, Callum, you've done your goals in West Ham. No more today. You know, what's his name? Old Solanke, 19 million. You ain't worth 19 quid, mate. Don't you worry about that. Oh, you know, old Ogbonna's here. He'll sort it out. I thought he was brilliant. But Rice, I don't know. We don't know what Moyes is thinking. I did a video the other day about, you know, what formation is Moyes going to pick based on what he'd done before. I couldn't have been more wrong. I think he might have looked at Rice today and thought, yeah, okay, maybe you're a midfielder actually, mate. I thought Noble just stepped up today and said, I'm Mr. West Ham. This is how we play football. What's the new tactics? Don't worry, David. I'll go out and I'll do them. I can do the new tactics as well as Pellegrini's or whatever. I'll do all your tactics. Don't worry about it. I'll go and implement whatever you say. Snodgrass was fantastic today. It was really good. Really enjoyed Snodgrass. I thought Fornals settled right into the team today. I think Moyes will be really pleased with his energy today, and I was unlucky not to get a goal again. As you say, it could have been 6, 7. He could have well been, you know, one of those. Thought he did really well. Anderson, I thought Anderson was superb, was everywhere today, and I think Moyes will be looking at him certainly. We didn't know Moyes was going to like, or he wasn't going to like. I reckon Moyes will be looking at Anderson, thinking, yeah, I can do something with you, mate. You can be my new, a slightly different position, but you might be thinking you can be my new Stephen Pienaar or something like that. He'd be looking at him, thinking, yeah, you're useful. And also, I've got to say, Sebastian Haller today was, I'm not sure he can make himself quicker, but he seemed to have become slightly quicker over the last day or two. And
see, the funny thing is about him, in the first 5 minutes, Noble chased the keeper or someone. He said, "You go get that defender," and Allier didn't move, and the keeper gave it to the defender, and you could Snodgrass was at the other defender, and you could see them both straight away shouting at Allier, saying, "Move!" And I thought that was the moment where Sebastian Allier thought, "Oh bloody hell, I'm going to have to like pressing means actually run after the ball, not just stay in a little bit of space around the player." But sorry, continue.
Yeah, it wasn't just the pressing. I thought there was a couple of times because we were playing whatever you would call them, long cultured. Anyway, when we were lobbing it over the top, I thought we lobbed it over the top a couple of times, and for Haller, and I thought, "Oh, what are you doing that for? Don't do that." Actually, it was all right. He was able to out sprint his marker, or at least match them for speed and use his strength to get behind. I thought he held up the ball so well. He was close to some couple of really beautiful layoffs, Gio, where he held the ball up. One of them he got the wrong decision. He played it right to almost nobody when he should have played it left. But I mean, it was close to being a good pass. There was two or three others. He almost set up Lanzini. It was played at right wing. I was setting up Lanzini for the header. Obviously, the finish was fantastic. And you look, and I bet again, Moyes looks at him thinking, now there's a striker I can work with, because he was an absolute handful today. And as I say, he's never going to be Usain Bolt, but he was quick enough today for the central defenders to think, no, we're not going to leave that much space in behind, and I'm pretty sure with a couple of other additions as well, he'll bring even more out of him. Some really good performances today, mate.
Yeah, I actually thought Sebastian Haller was almost running the channels a couple of times, which I've not seen him do, because there was that one for Fornals, he crossed it, and I think it was Lewis Cook tipped out for a corner, but Fornals was ready to volley at the goal basically, and I thought, well, this is interesting. He's pulling wide a little bit. But what the difference is, when he pulls wide, if he'd done it under Pellegrini, nothing would have happened in the middle of the pitch, but when Haller pulled wide tonight, Anderson and Fornals thought, I'm having this space, I'm getting in there, I'm running into the box now. It was just brilliant. The defence I thought they were all really good, apart from Cresswell's one moment. I thought all four of them were faultless, and it was summed up at the very end when Balbuena shot out a goal kick and Callum Wilson had a little swing at him, and Balbuena just walked off as if saying, "Unlucky mate," and you could see Cresswell patting him on the back of the head. And I went up to Callum Wilson and I say, "What are you doing? What are you doing to my teammate?" And I like that. I like the fact they're standing up for each other, but also the fact Balbuena was almost just like the Hulk. Bang, sorted. I'll just get on with my game. Unlucky mate. I thought Rice was good. There was a couple of times actually I thought he went to take a booking for the team, which is good to see. Too often we see players just running through the middle of our pitch, but I thought today when there was a threat on, I thought our whole team in particular were willing to take a foul a little bit and say, we're going to give you a free kick at the halfway line. You didn't get him beside our box for a free kick. We're going to give it to you all the way back here and you can do what you want with it. And I thought that was really good. I thought that was the best game Felipe Anderson's had this season by far, but also one of his, probably in his top 10 at West Ham since he's arrived. I thought he was fantastic in that number 10 role. He just grew in confidence as the game went on. A couple of little turns, running at defenders. I thought he was fast. He always had a free roll, and I think he enjoyed having that free roll tonight. It was just a case of go where you want, wherever you think Bournemouth are weak, go over there, work close with Fornals, go over and work close with Snodgrass and stuff. Thought he was brilliant. I'm pleased to see him get taken off at 4-0. Let's just wrap him up. He should be the VIP. He's good enough. He just frustrates the life out of me because we don't see it enough. I think Moyes will know what he has to do to get that out of Fornals. You said Anderson's his Pienaar. I think Fornals is his, like Tim Cahill. He's not as good in the air, but he's not fast, he's not big, but he's technically really good and works his nuts off, and I think Moyes will really like that out of Fornals. I thought he was really, really good again today. But the one player I thought was fantastic, he's not my man of match. That's the best game I've seen Snodgrass have, possibly, in a West Ham shirt. I hate him right wing. I hate Robert Snodgrass right wing, okay? But tonight, it was almost like he found a little yard of pace. He got Rico in the book early on because he took on two players. Now, Snodgrass ain't quick, but it's the fact that he was able to use what pace he does have in his body very well to go past players. And I thought he was just magnificent tonight, Snodgrass. One of the best performances I've seen him have in a West Ham shirt. And it's pleasing to see because I thought, when I looked at the team, I thought Snodgrass would be in the middle. Can't play in right wing. But I thought he was brilliant. Can I get your final words and your man of match, please?
Yeah, Eddie Howe in a build-up would have been saying, this is exactly what we need. This is up. We're going to West Ham and all the rest. oh yes, this is exactly what we need to get things back on track. We're going to work all week in training, and we can get our season back on track. What's his name? The Sheffield United one? What's his name?
Chris Wilder.
Wilder will be thinking, oh, God. Oh, why did they appoint? You know that sometimes we always feel that we're always unlucky when we have to play teams, you know. Sheffield United are unlucky now. He'll be thinking, oh, God, they got grit, they got all that determination, everyone's got their tails up. Why do we have to play West Ham now? That's what he'll be thinking. And I think it's gone. I think that's really quite stark. We'll be picking the meat off the bones of this performance for quite a while and analysing what's been going on, because you say just to go through the players, there's so much to admire and so many of the players there, and there's you know, if we can add a couple of additions to this team, you know, we can get ourselves safe of the relegation zone. I know maybe it wasn't what we wanted at the start of the season, but that's the reality we find ourselves in because of the fixtures today. We've got to carry on. At least now I feel we've got a chance, and I do feel if we carry on like this, we play with this sort of endeavour. So and it is effort, by the way. If we carry on with this type of effort and playing at pace, we won't be a pushover for any, maybe Liverpool or someone like that, the odd one. But I think in the main, I don't think we'll be a pushover for anyone. It certainly won't have times like Arsenal came and did what they did to us. That sort of stuff won't be happening anymore. I'm pretty sure of that. Man of the match today is going to be Mark Noble, mate.
Yeah, I think. It's. I don't want to put some negative spin on it, but this is like a slap of reality that I'm giving myself here more than anything. That is, Bournemouth are shocking. They were awful tonight. They were really, really bad. They were easy to beat. We've done well. It's been a really good performance. Lots of positives. But Sheffield United away is a completely different animal to what we've just played tonight. Okay, that's different. I just hope this gives David Moyes a bit of inspiration. FA Cup this weekend, David. You've got the win. Let's get the momentum and keep the momentum going. You've then got another 5 until we play Sheffield United on Friday. Bit of a hassle, but we play Gillingham on Sunday. Let's get the win in the FA Cup as well. You've got the win in the league. The cup is just as important. Let's use this. Don't rest players. Don't think, okay, I can throw this cup game and stuff. Tonight was massive. I think if we lost tonight, I would have been thinking we are not gone, but we're in serious trouble. Where's the next win going to come from, kind of thing. Now you have that little bit of belief. The morale in the squad will be better. We can beat Gillingham. That gives you 2 wins on the bounce going to Sheffield United. Completely different. West Ham turn up then a little bit, which is really good. There's 1 or 2 minor things that concern me watching that game. I'm possibly alone here, but you know, Mark Noble is my man match. I thought it was going to be Anderson actually, but Mark Noble sort of. Well, Anderson got tired, but Mark Noble was like Iniesta out there, who just ran the game. But where's that Mark Noble been? You know, this. I know you say he gets it for every manager, but it's almost like he's got too much player power about him or something. It's almost like, where were you under Pellegrini? And I'm not saying that for all the players, because I do think they tried. They worked hard, just the tactics weren't there and whatever. But I think Mark Noble in particular, I'm looking at thinking, where's this guy been? Clearly you run the changing room. Clearly you run that squad, which is what it should be. But then why did we need a change of manager for this reaction? You know, why have you given up? And that's a slight worry for me a little bit, because then what happens if David Moyes, we lose 5 games under Moyes? Is Mark Noble going to decide, you know what, I don't really want this manager either? So it's just a little thing. When I was watching that, I was just thinking, where's this West Ham been? Where have they been? And he's the one that I look with the armband on and think, where have you been? But anyway, possibly just me. So Mark Noble for man of the match for me. Thought he was magnificent. 10 out of 10. Absolutely faultless. I mean, it's the easiest brace anyone's ever going to score in Premier League, is it? Without half a penalty in that deflection. That's the easiest, kindest one you'll ever get. Obviously, the games are coming thick and fast. Gillingham on Sunday, so we'll have our preview coming up. We've got videos pretty much every day this week on both channels. Link in the description for the forum channel. Head over there. You have your video tomorrow, will you, Gonzo?
Yeah, I think I might just
positive.
I was going to do a negative one, but I've got to work on this. I think I'm going to pick the bones out of this a little bit more, really, mate. About the victory, we've waited long enough, as you say. We ain't done one since Norwich, so we'll do a double victory video.
If you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like on it. It helps the channel out. Subscribe if you're new around here. We hit 11,000 subscribers at some point last week, so thank you very much. Much appreciated your support as always. We'll be back very soon, so catch you in a bit. Leave your comments below. Of course, leave your comments below and let us know what you thought. Bye bye.